portion of the EEL sheets. I separate this into days, and so he just does a little bit every day, and then I grade him. He can usually do this on his own, and then I just go back and check it later. We will talk about, so I'll have 4 charts in him for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I've copied this to play 4 times. And what we'll do is we'll talk about the chart together, the one that's already filled in. We'll compare it, because this week we're supposed to compare it to the to be chart and the to have chart, and we'll see how to be and to have are used in the different forms. So we'll talk about all that, but then I'll actually have him just copy it. And sometimes I won't have him do the whole thing. I'll just be like, okay, today let's do the simple form. And then tomorrow when he fills it out, I'll be like, all right, do the perfect form. And then maybe the next day the progressive, and maybe the next day the perfect progressive form. And then each day I always have him fill out the top. He can also do this part after we talk about the chart. He can do this part on his own. So I have him do that on his own, and then I check it later. I have 4 analytical task sheets and quid et quos printed out for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And so I will dictate the sentence to him and have him write it. This is just another way for me to have him practice spelling and how to create a proper sentence. So I will usually dictate the sentence to him and make sure he has written it correctly, but then I'll have him do all of the rest, this and even the quid et quo by himself, and I'll check it later. So I'm not having him do the complete quid et quo like for every word in the sentence. Because we're doing the verb chart to play, and it seems like we're concentrating more on verbs this week, I'm just going to have him circle the verbs that he sees in the sentence and just do quid et quo for the verbs. So he does all that part on his own, and then I go and I check it later. I'm all about trying to get him more independent so that I can do things with the other kids. So that's basically it for this little packet. And then, of course, we move on to the IEW portion, and I'll go over the directions, what he needs to be doing each day. I'll quiz him on his vocabulary words from IEW, and a lot of times I'll include those vocabulary words into his spelling words if I'm feeling like he needs some extra spelling words also. So I'll quiz him on that. We'll talk about the assignment, go over how to do it, and then I make him do whatever portion I want him to do of IEW that day, and then I check it later in the day right before I do his math. So anyways, I just thought maybe you would also appreciate how I organized his day with essentials. All right, guys, bye.